purity. That's what we will be talking about tonight. As I look in the definition and in dictionary.com, I find that purity means the condition or quality of being pure. The freedom from anything that contaminates or pollutes. If we look at the biblical aspect of it in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3 and verse 7, we find that this is the will of God for your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication. For God had not called us to uncleanliness, but He's called us into holiness. We see a great example in Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. And we find out how Daniel was offered all of the food that the king would eat. But Daniel purposed in his heart not to defile himself. He said, I will not contaminate myself. And he set himself apart. Which brings me to the next point of purity. Purity is separation. Holy, apart. God has called us to be separated, to be holy, to be unique, not of this world, but to be different, to make a statement of who we are, what we walk in, what we do, and how we talk, how we live. Now, what are the benefits of this? Oh, we have benefits, and there's a great example. If you go to Luke chapter 1, verse 38, you will see that there was a young lady. Her name was Mary, and she was found pure in her heart. God saw her, and He knew she was the one. She was the vessel that God would use to bring His only Son down to this earth because of her purity. That's why she was chosen. And that is a benefit that we have, that when we walk in pureness, we may serve God. When we walk in pureness, we have that honor and that opportunity to serve Him. Why? Because we are pure. What is another benefit that we have? If you go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, you're going to find that it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. I want to see God one day. And I know you want to see God. But He has called you out to be pure, to be separated, to be clean in your heart. It says that you shall see God if you walk in purity. Now, what are the disadvantages of impurity? The disadvantages are, the first one is contamination. You become contaminated. You lose the purity. You lose the pureness where God wants you to be. When you allow these things in your life, these things that destroy this immorality that the world offers you. I'm reminded of an article that I read. This article was in this website called dayofpurity.com. And the title of this article was How to Live a Life of Sexual Purity. And as I read this article, I was so intrigued by this unknown writer, how he expressed himself, what you feed your mind, the books you read, the movies you watch, the shows that you see, the music you listen to. If all of these things you are feeding your soul and you're feeding your mind, then how can you walk in purity? And I quote him, it's difficult to live a life of purity when you're feeding yourself things that are immoral, things that are destructive, things that are not helping you walk in a life of purity. And the third thing that I would like to make mention is that you're separated from God. That's a big disadvantage. Who wants to be separated from God? I don't want to be separated from God. I want to feel the freedom to come before His presence and pray and speak with Him and pour my heart out to Him. But when we don't walk in purity, we have this separation. God doesn't want us to be separated. I want you to take a look at this example that I have. And you would say to yourself, well, first glass, maybe some of you might drink this glass, but you don't really know where I got it from. It looks like water, but I could have gotten it from a faucet, I could have gotten it from drinking fountain, or I could have gotten it from a toilet. But we don't know where it's from. It could even be vinegar. So you may not want to drink it because you don't know where it comes from. This one, obviously, no one's going to want to touch it. Because look at all this impurity. Look at all this nasty water. This is what our lives are. When we feed ourselves things that are impure, things that are destroying our life and our morality, God doesn't want us to live a life that's filthy like this water. But there's other things that come to our life that are tempting. And I want to ask you to close your eyes. I want you to listen for a moment. I want you to take a moment. I want you to listen to what I'm about to do. Now, several of you are going to say, oh, I can drink that. You can open your eyes now. It looks good, doesn't it? It looks very calming to your eye. And you may say, oh, that's what I want to drink. That's what I want. Well, see, that's what the devil offers you, and that's what the world offers you. Oh, it's delicious. Drink it. But eventually, it's going to damage your body. God doesn't want you to be drinking this. God wants you to drink something that's good, something that's pure. And I know you'd want to drink from this bottle, because everybody knows where this is from. Everybody knows that this is pure and this is clean. This is what the Lord wants for our lives. He wants us to drink from His water. He wants us to know what we're drinking and know that we are feeding our soul things that are nutritional, things that are satisfying to our soul. Because His word says, if you drink from my water, you shall thirst no more. And how beautiful is that? This will make you thirsty, and it'll destroy your body. This has no benefit for you whatsoever. And you see, that's what the world offers you. And I want to persuade you today that you make a choice in your life. What music are you listening to? What movies are you watching? What stuff are you reading? What magazines do you look at that is destroying your life, that is destroying and separating your connection with God? I call you tonight, and I invite you to make a choice to live in purity. Live in purity. Open the gates of heaven for your life. Become connected to your God. And don't be tempted by what the world offers. Seek the face of God. Guide yourself by His word and live a life of purity that pleases God. Thank you for your time.